What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Henny Jenny. I know it's been a minute, you know, between, start of January, I had a birthday, working at a different schedule at work. Um, just waiting for everything to kind of settle down, especially with I'm in the process of closing on my house back home, trying to get rid of that. Hey, as much debt as I could get rid of saves me money for more guns. I'm just saying. So with that, I'm in a position right now where things are a little stressful, and that's okay. It's okay to be stressed out. It's not the end of the world, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but in that, I have coped with my stress by buying more guns. I posted a short the other day of this beauty right here, the Walther PDP compact 9mm, and because I don't have a holster for it, all of my other holsters are like a little bit more slim. This one right here, that's a fat fucking gun. I'm just saying. And you guys already verified that it's empty. I'm not a fucking dumbass. But this motherfucker's big. And I love it. I already had to Loctite down the optic plate only because I wanted to make sure that if I go to the range without an optic, that it stays there. And then I can always take it off at any point in time. I have not shot it yet. I only bought it 2 days ago. So I am very excited, but I've had my sights on this gun for years. It is, again, 9mm. It came with two 15-round magazines that, by the way, hopefully I get a chance to show you. These fit inside of the CZ P09 Nocturne. So now, if you've seen any of my other videos, I have 6 magazines for that one gun, and 4 of those magazines don't even go for that gun. And then in that, I want to tell you about the story of the little gun that could. Because yes, I got the PDP compact, but then my wife has the P22, which is a 22 Walther. I mean, I could put so much trust and love into this thing because if its big brother can do what I need it to, then I'll go ahead and I'll get the same thing. I'll do it twice, but smaller. Okay, I'm gonna put some focus on the fucking firearm because why? Okay, if the auto, oh, it hates me. It hates me. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. Does that work? Does that? God, I hate this thing. Okay, I'm trying cinematic mode. Oh my gosh. So this is the firearm. You guys can get my serial number. It came with 2 10-round magazines. Let's try to balance it out. It came with 2 10-round magazines with the assist on it. No, get away from me. The guide assist. And so far, just in regular wrapping, no force at all, very comfortable. It does come with an ambidextrous safety. It does not come with an ambidextrous slide release. That is one-sided. I can't do anything over here. It is a double and single action firearm, which the fact that they make that for a 22 that is in this form factor, absolutely wild to me, but I love it. That trigger pull is actually really nice. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna get out of this fucking camera mode. Fuck this shit. All right, like I was god dang saying. So, this is the P22. It has the double action and the single action. So, the double action has a really long draw. Actually, this is just regular fire or whatever. It's a really long draw. And then the double action has about that much taken off of it. But even then, it's still a really almost harder draw than that. Yeah, it feels a lot harder or whatever. But the single action is all the way back here. And you can see it's almost touching the frame and then it breaks. And this isn't a striker fire, so I can't just show you, how it breaks and all that once you hold down the trigger. But the reset is, if you can hear it, Did you hear that? All the way up here. Now let's see how much more we have to go. Oh, did you see it? Did you see it? No, you didn't, because there's hardly anything there. Doesn't make any sense. Why is the reset all the way at the end of the throw? Now for a 22 that also has a hammer on it, I mean, yeah, once you get, you know, but so far down, then every shot's going to be like this for the, you know, for 10 rounds. I mean, can you really complain? No. I feel as, and I was told this is one of the best shooting 22s out there. So I'm going to take that to be able to test it on my own, and we'll see what happens. It does have this trigger guard magazine release. So you push that down. That is ambidextrous as well, but push that down, and there goes your magazine. It does take a little bit, not like a lot of force, but you can see I'm pushing on it and it's not clicking. There, it eventually clicked. And then it also has these back straps that are replaceable, and you can swap these out. I did go for the larger one just because I have larger hands. My wife, her hands aren't the largest thing in the world, but you know, she's got hands that would fit this better, and then this would also fit into her purse better than a regular 9mm like her Smith & Wesson equalizer. I will show you how to take it apart real quick. So pull the slide back. You don't need the magazine in it, but then you have to pull down these plates on either side, and it's not like the regular pull down. You have to like put some pressure on this shit, so you need like almost like nails or something, and then eventually clicks down. It holds itself there. You pull back further, up and over, and it has a spring in it. The black part goes into the slide. It's not the biggest thing in the world. I've noticed some people were having issues with it online, but you know, once you get it, you get it. Line everything up, over, and then down, push down, put some pressure down, clip that back in place. And again, it's very, very fucking smooth. I love this firearm. I would get another one. I'd probably get the black one just because that's what I go for. Again, let me show you that trigger break. Yeah, and then let me show you again from home. I'll show you the double action. So it does go into double action when you pull the trigger a little bit. Yeah. But on to what you came for. Walther PDP Compact. I picked this gun up because a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, first time I held it, I said, this is the most comfortable gun I've ever put in my hands. Now, I didn't purchase it because of the price point. It's one of those things where you get to that idea in your head that if I was to carry this and I need to use it in a self-defense situation, then the cops take it, then are you going to get it back? And how long will it take for you to get it back? And then if you are court ordered to not carry a firearm, is this firearm worth losing? You know, and yes, there's, you know, self-defense insurance out there, but at the end of the day, I don't think self-defense insurance is going to get my gun back. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think there's any effort to get my gun back. This one right here is a pretty standard 9mm striker fire pistol, but it is fat. And when I say fat, it's fat. You can see that it's empty, actually. That's pretty cool. But I keep my CCP-10C. This one's loaded. I'm sure you can see that. But just looking at the difference in width, if this even helps, this thing is fat. The Walther PDP is fat. And then if I was to hold them kind of like this, you can see how much chunkier it is. Realistically, it's crazy. But even the grip is fatter, but it's still really close. Not that big of a deal. My hands aren't long enough to reach the bottom of the magazine, which is a great thing. That means when you pull it out and use an emergency load, you don't get clipped. So that's actually really great in my opinion. So, see if I go like this, my hand didn't get clipped, thank God. This one also has changeable back straps. I did put the largest one on, and this one even comes with like a reverse beaver tail right here, I guess to just kind of make up for the width that it sticks out. It does have, I mean, the only thing I can compare it to that I know myself is a Canic, but the Canic, like the slide release, it's just really long, and my thumb almost overshadows the slide release, and that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing for me, just because that means I don't have to reach. For the Nocturne, the CZ Nocturne, it's way up there. I have to almost reach around. I have to readjust my grip to drop the slide on the Nocturne. This one right here, I don't have that problem, which is phenomenal to me. The P10C, I don't have that problem. My thumb overshadows it, but it is a smaller slide release. That's not an issue for me. The slide release size is not an issue, but the slide release distance is. So that is where that is. And again, I'll make sure it's clear one more time because I have been carrying it. I just haven't taken it to the range yet, which is something that I would like to do very soon. So I'll take this to the range. I'll take the P22 to the range. And yeah, I'll let you guys know how it is. It also has the trigger safety. The P22, and I know this one's unloaded because I don't have any P22 ammo just yet, but it does have a magazine safety, which means you can't do anything except pull the trigger on this. You put the magazine back in, click it in, then it'll go off. Oh, one thing to note about this, that trigger with those vertical lines in it, they rub really bad against my finger. So it takes, you know, some getting used to. But again, I'm sure if it's in your single action and you pull the trigger, you're not going to feel as much as you would when it's at home and you're just dry firing it. The PDP doesn't have that problem because it is a striker fire pistol, but it does so far feel almost the same as the P10C. The P10 series in general has that trigger safety that sticks out just a little bit, to where when you pull the trigger, it's not smooth. It has that tiny little hump in it. So with that, I feel as though this is going to have that same, you know, feeling of when you shoot it and the gun jumps a little bit, it's going to, you know, rub against your finger. It does have a circle for a magazine release instead of a, you know, like the trigger release like the P22, or, you know, the square like the P10C. And this is really the striker fire that I have to compare it to. You know, it's hammerless. They're about the same when it comes to, you know, capabilities and certain people's reliability list, or like their just overall go-to list. So that is something to note. It is not ported, but it is optic ready, which is a great thing for me for when I put optics on these things. The P10C does have that extended base plate, so it is a 17+1 instead of this being a 15+1. One thing to note about both the P22 and the PDP is that they have way more slots for attachments. So your light can either mount here, here, or here. That is something that I like. For the P10C, it only has one. Same with the Nocturne, it only has one. So then the rest is just a slide and how tight you can get your accessory on the slide. But they also put the serial number right here, which I would put it in other places so that you can, I mean, you'd have up to 4, you know, slots right here, in my opinion. I feel as though that would be very beneficial, and I don't think you would risk the integrity of the plastic. The takedown of the PDP, I almost said P10. So you got the P10C and the PDP. They're about the same thing. So takedown, you take out the magazine. It's about the same as everything else. Oh, did I get it? Do we need to pull the trigger? Nope, because the fucking, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me try that again. So pull the trigger. Hopefully it doesn't reset because it does have a really low reset. And then it goes forward. pull down these takedown levers, and then it'll slide forward. This part right here, I have noticed, is super fucking sharp, like ridiculously sharp. Not that it's that big of a deal, but I wouldn't want my wife to take down this pistol and then her finger gets cut or something. But outside of that, it slides just straight forward. Here are the internals. The barrel is a pretty standard size. I mean, you can just kind of see the width. The spring is very strong, I will say that, but the barrel is pretty standard. The P10C barrel is way thicker just because it is ported. And that is from factory. That's not something that I did. You just got a really nice chunk port at the top. See the internals here. Not that, you know, they would matter to me if I'm not going to do anything to the internals. I'm going to run a pistol the way that it's supposed to be ran, is, you know, out of the box, clean it up, lube it, and then run it. The more you do to it, the less reliable it becomes if you don't know what you're doing. And I don't know what I'm doing, not in that aspect. So go to SD, no, I'm joking, that's not what I'm here for. But yeah, so ultimately, I do like the slide serrations. They're pretty deep. I mean, just getting like a little bit of grip on it is going back. And same with the ones at the back. Those are nice. 2 more spots where you can rack your firearm, hear me out, is right here. It has a groove in it on both sides. It comes back like the curves on a woman. And if you can get a good enough grip, if you start your hand right here and it slides back onto those back serrations, you know, it's pretty nice. And then also at the front, it has grooves. So you could like John Wick it if you need to. I mean, it's not something that I would do on a spring this strong, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. It's actually pretty nice. So, oh, another thing is where the magazine goes in, your grip. Your magazine has a small lip to it that kind of extends out onto this lip right here as well. So your hand needs to be able to fit all of your fingers within this area. My fingers fit. I don't have an issue with that. Smack that magazine in, and if your hand does go down a little bit, you can see the tiny little bit of difference that it'll make. I mean, you can push it up and down, wiggle it a little bit. Let me try with the loaded one. Oh. Yeah, same amount of wiggle, so it's not, you know, the end of the world, but yeah, so that's just a note of how it is. And then also, the magazine ejects. Some firearms don't do that. Let's check and see if the P10 does it. It's not as strong, maybe because it's loaded. Let's see with a loaded magazine from PDP. Nope, there's a lot of pressure there. And then an unloaded one almost moves faster. I'll even show you with the P22. This one right here, oh, that motherfucker's gone. Yeah. Last but not least, is there anything else? No, other than the fact that I will take this motherfucker to the range and shoot it. I gotta find myself an outdoor range where I can have my mask on, because I don't want to go to an indoor range and scare anybody. Just because the thing is, you go into a gun store or you go into a gun range and you scare someone because you're wearing a mask, and you know you can't get good content, then it almost makes it seem as though you're in there to get shot. And that's what I don't want. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to have any issues. I don't want to have any fucking problems. I just want to enjoy my fucking firearms. I want everybody else to enjoy theirs, and I want to uphold the Second Amendment, which is why I like buying firearms, because my defense goes against somebody else's attack. And I like to protect what is mine and what, you know, I'm allowed to have per the government. Now, when they start to take away those rights, that's where we have a fucking problem. Whatever. I didn't show you guys the trigger pull. So, here's the trigger pull. It takes a little bit of space, but, you know, Can't get back because of that trigger safety. So up to there, pull, break. Like I said, it's a small reset, so I don't know if you guys saw that. Right there. So, dead trigger. Let's try to show you the reset on it. That's not that far back. Yeah. So if you ever need, the reset isn't that big of a deal. I feel like it's a very comfortable firearm. I just want to I think you guys would like this. I want to recommend it. So far, so good. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 only because of this trigger. The trigger itself, the trigger pull, the trigger feel, very nice. But that little ridge, I already know what that little ridge is going to do to my finger. It's going to make it fatigue a little bit more. Maybe if I file it down a little bit, give it some take up, some space. We'll see. We'll see. All right, I just wanted to share this with you guys. Walther PDP compact, as well as the Walther P22, which is like a sub or like a mini, honestly. Very nice firearms. I'll give this one right here probably the same 9 out of 10. Just because I haven't shot it yet. Once I shoot them, I'll be able to give like a proper actual, like, maybe I'll even do a ranking video next for all the firearms that I have. This one right here, to this day, 9 out of 10, primarily because of the trigger. Outside of that, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Ah, fuck.